NXT still has many stars that WWE has yet to call up. Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Bobby Roode, just to name a few. A great way to get these guys on Raw or SmackDown would be to have them in an invasion group, similar to the Nexus or the nWo. So in today's top 10, I'm going to count down the top 10 reasons why WWE needs to have an NXT invasion storyline. One of the things that pro wrestling loves to do is merchandise their wrestlers. So obviously, a great way to get over this NXT invasion group would be to give them great, fantastic merchandise. One big reason for WWE to have an NXT invasion angle would be for network subscriptions. If people see these guys from NXT, who, if they did show up on WWE TV doing an NXT invasion group, you obviously would want to still have them be on NXT, and they would obviously continue the NXT invasion storyline on NXT television. One interesting idea for an NXT invasion angle would be to have some of the NXT women be in the group. One of the most interesting things about the nWo, about the Nexus, about all of these past factions was the idea of who's going to join next. Obviously, it's shown that an invasion group can work, especially at first. Look at the Nexus. They screw that up so badly. So obviously, if you do this again, you cannot screw it up. Now this one, a lot of people might not like, but having Triple H as the mouthpiece, as the leader of this NXT group, could be interesting, only because it would be like he's bringing in another company. You have this guy who owns NXT, who's going up against Vince McMahon, who owns the WWE. So it would be like two companies against one. You could even have an NXT versus WWE pay-per-view at some point. WWE has lost many fans over the past couple of years. This idea of having an NXT invasion angle, but not just that, having just an invasion angle in theory would bring back tons of fans. Going back to 1996 when the nWo was formed, it created the wrestling boom period. This kicked WWE in its butt, and it forced them to have to get better. And that's what created the Attitude Era. So obviously, if you create another invasion angle, hey, something could happen. And if you remember back when the Nexus was formed, it felt like this company's hot again. They screwed it up by beating them 2 months in. What WWE needs to make sure is that they need to have this group be as strong as possible and not lose for a year. Bringing in Nakamura and Joe for WWE could be difficult, only because, hey, who do you have them face? What do you do with them? So putting them in this group would be a great idea. Great way to give them a huge impact right from the start. What is something that really matters to WWE? The ratings, the TV ratings. And wrestling fans love big angles, they love big storylines, and that's one of the things that's been lacking over the past several years. We just don't really have anything big going on. It's Guy A versus Guy B. Just having feuds? Who cares about that? We want to see big angles. We want to see craziness. We want to see havoc, just insanity. And that's what an NXT invasion group would give us.